There's so much going on this season in Japan. The Nintendo Museum's opening, autumn leaves illuminations, an egg festival, Capybara yuzu baths, and a Disney plane that actually plays You Can Fly when it's about to take off. I'm Amy from Cakes with Faces, and this is Japan Travel News. There's a lot to get through, so let's get started. First, TeamLab Planets in Tokyo is getting a huge new expansion in early 2025 with more than 10 new installations, including the Athletics Forest, which was the upper floor of the original TeamLab Borderless when it used to be in Odaiba, which was actually the most fun part. When it moved to Azabudai Hills, everything that used to be on the upper floor mysteriously disappeared, so now it looks like it's going to be part of Planets instead. That includes the Future Park, which is where you draw creatures that magically come alive on the walls, and the Catching and Collecting Forest, where you catch creatures from the walls on your phone. You can try out a mini version of that for free at the Galaxy store in Harajuku, and they also have it at TeamLab Forest in Fukuoka, which I definitely recommend. I went there earlier this year and it was much quieter than the ones in Tokyo. We had some rooms all to ourselves. At first I thought it was kind of strange that Planets is being expanded so much when it's the temporary one. TeamLab Borderless is permanent, and at the moment Planets is until the end of 2027, but that has been extended several times, so maybe it's not all that temporary. If you're not sure which one to go to, I have a blog post comparing TeamLab Borderless with TeamLab Planets, and I have updated it taking into account the new expansion. That's on cakeswithfaces.co.uk. It seems like they're making Planets the more physical one with more unusual rooms with different floor types, and they're keeping Borderless completely accessible. There's also a new TeamLab attraction in Ibaraki Prefecture. It's outside at a rice terrace. It's called TeamLab Hidden Traces of Rice Terraces, and it's open after dark so you can enjoy the magical glowing lanterns and projections. It's in Izura, which is by the sea, so you could do a day trip and go to the seaside in the daytime and then TeamLab in the evening. If you take the fastest express train, it's 2 hours from Tokyo Station to Isohara Station. They've also opened a new hot spring complex there, so you can stay overnight, enjoy the forest in the evening, and a lovely hot spring bath. Next, I've got some news from me. I'm running a Kickstarter for my new Japan trip planning deck. It's a new way to plan your trip to Tokyo. Each card has an attraction in Tokyo, plus food and day trips. You can look through them to get inspiration, group them by area, rearrange them to work out your itinerary, and plan together with who you're traveling with. And if you take them with you, you'll have all the details you need in your pocket, like how to get there, tips, and things like unusual opening hours. You can get the deck now on Kickstarter. The link's in the description, and all the details are in my previous video last week. Thank you so much to everyone who's backed the Kickstarter already. It was funded on day one, so they're definitely being made. I'm really happy you like them, and I hope they're useful for planning your trip. My 2025 calendar is also up for pre-order. It has the dates of Japanese festivals and events in 2025. You can get it from cakeswithfaces.co.uk, or it's also available as a bundle together with the planning deck on Kickstarter, and both will be sent out in time for Christmas. Next, the Nintendo Museum has just opened this week in Uji, which is really close to Kyoto. You can go there on a day trip or an afternoon trip. It's on the site of their old factory, so it's a piece of Nintendo history itself. It's all about the history of the company with lots of interactive exhibits. You can make your own Hanafuda trading cards, which were Nintendo's first ever product back in 1889. There are retro games consoles, giant controllers for playing games, and I've seen pictures of giant plushie controllers in the gift shop. That would be a challenge to fit in your suitcase. It's going to be really popular, so at the moment there's a lottery to get tickets. They're released 3 months in advance, so if you want to go, make sure you know the details and check up on how to get tickets. This isn't somewhere you can just turn up on the day. Next, the autumn leaves forecast for 2024 is out. Every year, the Japan Meteorological Corporation publishes a forecast for when the red maple leaves and yellow ginkgo leaves are expected to turn, just like the cherry blossom forecast in the spring. This year, they'll be slightly later than usual because of the long summer and hot weather. This year, the cherry blossoms were late as well. If you're hoping to catch them, they provide information about the status of the leaves at all the popular viewing spots throughout Japan, so you can check before you go. It's so useful. Remember, they start first where it's cooler, so if you're too early, you might be able to take a day trip north or somewhere higher elevation, like into the mountains, to see them. And the same if you're too late. Japan is a long country, so the climate varies between north and south. Kyoto is really popular at autumn leaves time because there are so many beautiful places there. And if you're visiting in the autumn, you're lucky because there are some places that are only open at this time of year. First are the gardens at Reikanji Temple, which are open to the public between the 20th of November and the 1st of December. There are also guided tours inside the drawing room. The garden of Kurodani Temple, which is usually private, will be open to the public with illuminations and live music in the evening from the 15th of November to the 8th of December. Kiyomizu-dera, one of the most popular temples in Kyoto, will be open later than usual with illuminations after dark, so you can enjoy the glowing leaves. That's from the 18th to the 30th of November. The Sagano Romantic Train in Arashiyama goes through tunnels of leaves. In the second half of October, they're lit up after dark. And 9 spots around Kyoto are being lit up with projection mapping, including Nijo Castle, Kyoto Tower, and various shrines and temples. It's by a company called Naked, who are basically the same as TeamLab. That's already started and it's on until the 8th of December. It's called Naked Garden 1 Kyoto 2024 if you want to look up the details. There are many more illuminations and autumn leaves events too, all around Japan, not just in Kyoto. It's always worth looking up the best viewing spots wherever you're going to be. Next, Kyoto City has started taking donations from tourists. They'll be used to help preserve the historic buildings and streets and maintain traditional crafts. It's completely voluntary. You can donate as much as you like online on the Preserve Kyoto website, and you get half back as a gift voucher that you can use at 380 restaurants, cafes and bars. So if you want to give a little back to the city itself, that's how you can do it. Next, Halloween theme cafes are starting to appear in Japan. There are always lots of pop-up theme cafes, and this season we've got Spooky Afternoon Teas, a super cute cafe from Sumiko Garashi, Attack on Titan, Hatsune Miku, SpongeBob SquarePants, Hello Kitty's 50th anniversary cafe, and many more. There's a list on my website, cakeswithfaces.co.uk. It's pinned in the blog section, and I update it regularly, so check back before your trip. Next, there's a new luxury sightseeing train in West Japan called the Hana Akari. Hana means flower and Akari means light up, and it's meant to light up the local regions it travels through. It seems like it'll be changing its route each season. This autumn, it'll be making a 5-hour journey through Fukui, Kyoto and Hyogo prefectures. It starts at Tsuruga Station, which is at the end of the newest Shinkansen line that was extended from Kanazawa towards Osaka. And it runs to my favourite onsen town, Kinosaki Onsen, which you can see in my videos. It runs once a week each way, and there are special activities at stations along the way, like stalls with regional specialities and stamp rallies. It looks really luxurious. It's decorated with traditional crafts, so riding the train is a really special experience. It starts running this weekend on the 5th of October, and as with all special trains in Japan, you do need to book in advance because they're really popular. Also in train news, this week it was the 60th anniversary of the Shinkansen on the 1st of October. Happy birthday to the bullet train. The first Shinkansen in Japan was the Tokaido line that we all know and love between Tokyo and Osaka. It started running in 1964, just in time for the Tokyo Olympics. At the time, they called it the Super Express train of our dreams, which I think it still is. At the time, it took 4 hours to go from Tokyo to Osaka. That's now been reduced to 2.5 hours. If you were to drive the same route, it would take over 6 hours. I think it's amazing it's been running for so long. The Shinkansen still seems so futuristic, and it's always exciting to ride it every time. Also in Osaka, one of the fun things there are the giant decorations on the front of buildings, especially around Dotonbori. One of them is a giant dragon on a ramen restaurant. In August this year, the company opposite complained about the tail overhanging their property and it was cut off. But the store owners decided to have some fun. For a limited time, you can see the dragon's tail in the claws of a giant crab that's on a crab restaurant just a few doors down. And they've added tears to the dragon's eyes. They won't be there forever, so if you're going to Osaka soon, see if you can spot them. Also in Osaka, there's a new experience for thrill seekers at Tsutenkaku Tower, which is an observation deck in Shinsekai, a retro area with all these over-the-top decorations. I have a video about it. It's called Dive and Walk. First is the walk. You put on a harness and walk around the outside edge of the observation deck at 26 meters high. Then you dive from 40 meters up down to the middle observation deck. Tell me in the comments if you'd do it. Tsutenkaku Tower is quite a retro, old-fashioned observation deck, and there are lots of places to get a view of the city in Osaka, so it seems like they're adding these extra experiences to try and stay unique. They also have a slide that goes down outside the tower, which we did try and go on, but unfortunately it closed before we had a chance to use our tickets. Next is exhibition news. If you like the anime Jujutsu Kaisen, there's a pop-up at the Tokyo Skytree until the 22nd of December. There's a mini exhibition, backdrops for taking photos, special merch, and themed dishes at the cafe. There's also a Kaiju number 8 exhibition in Tokyo featuring the manga from Shonen Jump. It's at the gallery at Tokyo Dome until the 10th of November. There's artwork from the manga, life-size replicas of Defense Force weapons and equipment, and themed items at various cafes around Tokyo Dome, like this hot dog with black sauce, black curry, and this coffee jelly parfait. And the Pokemon Crafts exhibition that's been mentioned before in Japan news is now moving to Tokyo. It'll be at the Azabudai Hills Gallery, which is where TeamLab Borderless is. That's from the 1st of November to the 2nd of February. The exhibition has artwork and traditional Japanese crafts, but mixed with Pokemon. The exhibits look really high quality. It's a really unique exhibition. There's also a theme cafe, tea ceremonies, and a chance to meet Pikachu dressed in a kimono. That's only on select days, so check the details. Next, there's a new ninja show in Tokyo in Shinjuku. It's produced by the Japan Ninja Council, so I guess it's 100% official. It's 90 minutes long and it explains the lore of ninjas with taiko drumming, acrobatics, dance, and of course ninja battles. It's designed so you can enjoy it even if you don't speak Japanese. Before the show, you can have a bento box dinner and there's a samurai DJ to welcome you. That's at Warp Shinjuku. It's on weekdays on 3 times a day. It looks like an exciting show. It seems like it could be a replacement for the robot restaurant. It does look like it's designed for tourists, but I hope it's more authentic and less of a tourist trap. So if you go, let me know how it is. Next, Japan Railways Kyushu has just introduced QR code tickets. So you can buy your train tickets online and you get a QR code on your phone that you can then scan at the ticket gates. It makes the process a bit easier. You don't have to go to the ticket machine or the ticket desk to pick up paper tickets. Japan Railway's official Shinkansen ticket website, SmartEX, already has QR code tickets for many Shinkansen lines, so this extends that to the line between Fukuoka and Nagasaki and lots of express trains in Kyushu. I have a video all about SmartEX and how to buy train tickets online. In kind of related news, the Keikyu Line in Tokyo, which connects Haneda Airport with the city, now accepts cards at their ticket machines. Previously, the machines only accepted cash. Their idea was to make it easier for foreign visitors arriving at the airport who might not have any yen when they first arrive. Japan is still a cash-based society. While a lot of places do take cards now, train ticket machines are one place where you do still often need cash. So this is a really convenient update and hopefully it's the start of a trend. Next, Tokyo Disney has a monorail and now it has a plane as well. Japan Airlines has decorated one of their planes to celebrate the opening of Fantasy Springs at Disney Sea. It's called the JAL Fantastic Journey Express. It's flying domestic routes in Japan from late October until November 2025, so look out for it at the airport. The design has characters from Fantasy Springs, from Frozen, Tangled and Peter Pan. The decorations are inside the plane too, and when you're boarding, they switch the music to You Can Fly, which is just perfect. Next, there's a Yokai Festival in Kyoto. It's at Toy Kyoto Studio Park, which is an attraction you don't always hear that much about. It's a theme park themed around period dramas, so it has replicas of historic buildings and shows. From now until the 8th of December, there's a Yokai Festival. Yokai are, of course, Japanese monsters. It says, a whole new kind of yokai entertainment will be born where you can see, touch, participate, and experience the terror and fun with your whole body from morning till night. There'll be a parade, dance shows, an art exhibition, meet and greets with yokai, and all sorts of special events. Also, with the supernatural theme, you can see a fox wedding at a shrine in Kyushu. A fox wedding is a mysterious event from Japanese legends that's said to take place when it's sunny and raining at the same time. I drew one for my calendar last year. Inari shrines always have fox statues, and this takes place at Yutoku Inari Shrine in Kyushu. It's one of Japan's top 3 Inari shrines, along with Fushimi Inari in Kyoto. It's really beautiful. From now until the 1st of December, there's a projection mapping and light show at the shrine and a night walk. Everyone who visits is a guest at the fox wedding. You're encouraged to wear fox masks and yukata. The theme is cutting off bad relationships and starting new ones. It looks really atmospheric, and it's a really interesting fusion of Shinto tradition and modern technology. Next, Japan is a country where you're allowed to drink alcohol in public, so if you want to get a strong zero from the convenience store and drink it in the park, that's absolutely fine. But Shibuya has just introduced a ban on drinking alcohol in the streets at night. They already had a ban on public drinking on Halloween and New Year's, and that's now been extended to every day, all year round, from 6 p.m. to 5 a.m, starting from the 1st of October. I think this was probably brought up with Halloween coming up because that's become increasingly rowdy. At the moment, there isn't actually any penalty, but it's something you should be aware of. Now, I know a lot of people are fans of Japanese manhole covers. They have unique designs, often related to the local area. You can go around taking photos of them. If you like them, you might want to have a look in Hands, formerly Tokyu Hands, which is a huge shop that's great for gifts and sells all sorts of things. Currently, they've got a range of Japanese manhole cover merch, including coasters, which are perfect because they're round, t-shirts, stickers, caps and pins. It's been spotted in the Shibuya branch and in Shinjuku. Next, Dogo Onsen is now fully open again. The historic bathhouse in Shikoku in Matsuyama is said to be the inspiration for the bathhouse in Spirited Away, although I am pretty sure there are several bathhouses that say they're the inspiration for that one. I guess inspiration can come from several places. Parts of the bathhouse have been closed for over 5 years during the renovation work. They fully replaced the tiled roof and made the structure more earthquake proof. But now it's all completed and fully open again as a symbol of Matsuyama. Next, Japan may be introducing a system like the USA's JESTA for foreign tourists. The purpose is to stop people arriving on a tourist visa and then never leaving. Currently, passenger information is sent to Japan by the airline after you take off. So if there's anyone on the plane who doesn't pass the screening, they arrive in Japan and then have to be sent back again. And with the new system, it'll be sorted before you fly. The new system will apply to the countries that currently don't need a visa, including the UK, but you only need to apply for a visa if it flags up a problem. It looks like it's not really anything to worry about unless your plan is to move to Japan illegally, and they're not introducing it anytime too soon. The plan is to start it by 2030. The tentative name is JESTA, like the US's ESTA, so if you hear anything about that, that's what it is. Next, if you want to see Capybara enjoying a hot spring bath with yuzu, just like in all the cute pictures and on my calendar, you should go to Izu Shabuten Zoo on the Izu Peninsula. It's doable as an overnight trip or maybe as a day trip from Tokyo. It's part petting zoo with small animals and part cactus garden. It's said to be where the capybara yuzu bath tradition started in the 1980s. A zookeeper noticed how much the capybara were enjoying their hot spring bath and decided to add some yuzu citrus fruits, which is a Japanese tradition in the winter that's said to keep you healthy and stop you getting winter colds. Plus, it smells lovely. You can see the capybara enjoying their yuzu bath from the 1st of November. On select days, they'll also have an orange bath, an apple bath, or a rose petal bath. It's like a whole spa for capybara. Finally, if you're in Tokyo this month, don't miss the Egg Festival in Ikebukuro. There'll be stalls with egg products. There's also all-you-can-eat tamago kake gohan, also known as TKG, which is quite a simple dish. It's just a bowl of rice with raw egg and soy sauce. Raw egg is safe to eat in Japan. It's known as a comfort food. I'm not even an egg fan, and it is strangely satisfying. At the festival, you can have all-you-can-eat tamago kake gohan with 60 types of eggs and 30 types of soy sauce from all around Japan. I don't know how much you could really get through, but that's at the Egg Festival at Sunshine City Mall in Ikebukuro from the 18th to the 20th of October. So that's it for Japan news. We've had the TeamLab Planets expansion, a new plane, a new train, and a fox wedding. Tell me in the comments if you'll be going to any of these. Remember to check out my Kickstarter, and I'll see you next week on Thursday with more Japan videos. Bye bye.